Alright, so that's the Black Album Cover Challenge. Hello VC, Brother Eric here, and this is the Plastic Sound Wave Cult. So I didn't make a video last week. I didn't feel too bad about it because I made 2 videos the week before. My wife gave me a honeydew list, and we've been doing a lot of spring cleaning. One of my cats got sick, and so I had to take him to the vet, and that was a whole thing. He's much better now. But when I got to a certain point where I wanted to take a break and it was possible to do a video, instead I decided to goof off. Because while I was busy cleaning the garage, I found an interesting thing. And so I've been goofing around with this for the last week. This is my old shop boombox. I used to crank the shit out of this thing all the time. I didn't use the tape player that much, but I always used the CD player on top here. I'll admit it's seen better days. It was a great deal. I think I picked it up for like $18 at Best Buy new on clearance. I want to say this is probably like past 95, but before 2000. It was a great deal. I've had this thing for years, but when my shop closed down, this got put in the garage and never got used again. Until now, because I did find all my tapes a while back, but I didn't know where this was, and I thought that the cassette player was busted. So when I saw it, I thought, what the hell? When I get a free chance, I'll see if it works. And holy shit, it did. Now again, this thing's seen better days. On a couple of tapes, it tends to squeak some, but it plays the music, and it does a great job. So I've been sitting around listening to old tapes that I haven't listened to for years. And some of the comments that I make in the VC, especially like Steve Carlson, he'll show an album, especially like in his Left of the Dial series right now, and he'll show an album and it's like, I've got that, but on tape, and I haven't heard it in years. That would be cool to listen to again. And there's a few out there that you guys have shown stuff that I have on these tapes, but not on vinyl or a CD. And so I was going to share with you a little bit what I've been listening to with my old tapes. And we're going to start at the beginning with A. Same tape boxes that I had in high school. And I'm surprised because I stored these in the garage. But here's a little smattering of what I used to listen to. Some of this I've listened to already, some of it I haven't. Angelic, Upstarts. Great Punk. Got this when it was new. The Blow Monkeys. Though Digging Your Scene is really the only song I really like, and I did get that on vinyl. I want to get this on vinyl so bad. The Cult, Electric. It is out there. I don't think it's cheap. But I got to listen to this for the first time in decades. Now again, this is just a slice of, some of them. ATCO and the Bunnymen. This album is so good. I was playing this just yesterday, and it was so awesome to hear it again. I've got to get this one on vinyl. Another one that's seen better days, Erasure, Wonderland. Fear, the record. This is how I learned from Fear. Fear the record on tape. General Public. Oh man. Tenderness. This one and their next album were really good. Hipsway, that's probably a band you haven't heard in a while. The only song I remember from them is The Honey Thief. I get into some crazy ones here. I've seen this one showing up the vinyl on the VC. Mine's really beat up, but I have the tape from when it came out. The House Martins. London 0, Hole 4. Hunters and Collectors. I think I've seen this shown on the VC. This is awesome. Infectious Grooves. This album is so good. I have Sarsipius Arc, the second one, on CD. But to hear this again has just been such a joy. Closed session on this is freaking hilarious. I don't know if anybody knows Infectious Grooves. It's basically Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies, Robert Trujillo, which I'm not sure if he was in Suicidal Tendencies. I think he was, but I'm not positive. But he's the bassist for Metallica now. Stephen Perkins from Jane's Addiction is on this. Great, great funky metal album. For years, I thought that this Iron Maiden that I have, Peace of Mind, and the reason why I held it upside down is because if you look at most tapes, they open this way. This tape, this is the way they came, and I found it on Discogs, and it showed up this way, not as a bootleg, it's official. It opens up the other way. I think it's the only tape I have that opens in that direction. So it's still like, I guess, this direction, but, you know, now it's upside down. Tape box number 2. I'm listening to some good ones out of here, too. I've seen this pop up in the VC. Lucy Show, Mania. The big hit on here, A Million Things. Great, great tape. I need to find this one, the 12-inch singles from Ministry. This has got the classic Every Day is Halloween. Love that song. Even though it sounds totally different than everything else they did after that. Modern Lovers. This album is so good, and it's been so long since I heard it, and I finally got to hear it this week. And it's just been, I love Roadrunner. And the other songs on here are really good too, but Roadrunner is exceptional. Got it when it first came out like everybody else. I just got it on tape. Seen the album for this shown. OMD, Pacific Age. Really good album. And I've been already looking for this one on vinyl. Palehead. The only thing is this has all of these songs together. I don't believe the CD or the EP contain all of the songs that are on here. But it's Ministry and Ian MacKaye. An unusual combination, but this is incredible industrial punky shit. Pete Townshend, White City. Here's another great band, Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry. I think I've seen this shown in the VC too. It might have been a different album, but this is interesting to listen to as well. Box number 3. And these are just all my pre-recorded ones. I have a whole bunch of ones that I recorded when I was a kid in another box, but I haven't delved into those. Rollins Band, The End of the Silence. Here's a weird one. This is an REM, Fables of the Reconstruction, Reconstruction of the Fables, promotional tape. So advanced cassette, personal use only. So it's not even colored in. It's super simple packaging. I know the CD is much more colorful, which I do have the CD. And so I don't know if a lot of people catch on to this. Whenever I see people mention it in the VC, they'll usually call it Fables of the Reconstruction, which is correct. I don't know how well this is going to show up. If I need to, I'll show a scan. That says Fables of the Reconstruction, but on the other side, it says Reconstruction of the Fables. And so that's what it was. Actually, the two sides were the name of the album. And even on this one here, it says A side, and then this says another side. And so yeah, Fables of the Reconstruction, Reconstruction of the Fables, which is actually what the name of that album is, I believe. Rush, there's a special deal you could get for the first three albums once they got big. These are from England. These got interesting how they have the coloring on there, the stickers on it. This one was in green. Now, I don't have any of this person on vinyl or CD. And I used to listen to this tape a lot. And it was so good to listen to it again. Sade. Stronger Than Pride. Oh man, this is such a good album. I love it. Sinead O'Connor, I believe it's her first album. The songs on here that are super good. Black Boys on Mopeds. I'm Stretched on Your Grave. Nothing Compares to You is the big hit off of this one. But yeah, I do not want what I haven't got. You know I gotta have some Smiths. Talk Talk. Spirit of Eden. Television. I haven't listened to this one yet, but I'm looking forward to listening to this again. UB40. I don't think I've shown them on this channel. This is a really good album. The Undertones, Hypnotized, My Perfect Cousin. Such a good song. Probably, for sure, my top 20. Might be in my top 10, but My Favorite Cousin, excellently crafted song. Then we get into some comps, singles, the Great New York single scene. This has got Patti Smith, Little Johnny Jewel, Television, Richard Hell and the Voidoids, Erasers, Model Citizens. A lot of great stuff on this one. Big City. What is it? Bright Lights, Big City. I don't know if I've ever seen the movie. Love the soundtrack. Good Love from Prince. True Faith, which is a really weird version by New Order. Kiss and Tell by Brian Ferry. Treasure, the Glitter Mix from Depeche Mode. Century's End from Donald Fagen. Pump Up the Volume from Mars. That's another really killer song. I've been listening to the shit out of this tape too. The Color soundtrack. Oh man, this first side is incredible. So, Colors by Ice-T, Six Gun, performed by the Decadent Dub Team, but the remix is by Dr. Dre. This is in 1988. Let the Rhythm Run, Salt and Pepper. Raw, Big Daddy Kane. And I think my favorite on here, because this first side's just a perfect hip-hop album, compilation side. Paid in Full, Eric B. and Rankum. This is the 7 Minute of Madness Cold Cut Remix. Oh, that's so good. One of my favorite, well, my two favorite rap songs are on here. Colors and Paid in Full. That song is so good. And when I got this album originally, I was the only one who liked it back in 1988, I think it is. All my friends hated it. Pretty in Pink soundtrack, but I got this on album now. Salvation has a lot of alternative stuff on here, mostly New Order and Cabaret Voltaire. Cassette singles. Now this is cool. This is The Cure, Hot Hot Hot. This is a remix. So it's a cassette single, and it's got the cassette version of colored vinyl. This one is on red, or in red. B-52s, Rome. On black cassette. Prince, Alphabet Street. That reminds me, I have a blue tape in here somewhere. Is this one? Oh yeah, the singles. Comes on a blue cassette case. And then the other cool thing I found was a tape I'd made in high school when it had to have been the early days of 120 minutes on MTV. I got General Public on here, Iggy Pop, so many things that they show. But I know it's an early one because Downtown Julie Brown hosts it, and I think it was Mike Penfold who did it afterward. Penfold, one of those two. Matt Penfold. But I recorded the commercials and everything. I was listening to this the other day, and it was weird listening to this. I just hooked up the tape machine to the back of the TV and recorded it. It was a little time capsule of 1987. So yeah, I was listening to those through this here. I finally did figure out something that I could do. I do not have a tape deck for my stereo system. So what I ended up doing is plugging in to the headphones and plugging in to my amplifier and listening to these tapes through my stereo system. And I was pleasantly surprised. It really did not sound that bad. It actually sounded halfway decent for coming out of this old piece of shit. But it came through in flying colors. It's like it's probably got PTSD, but it still does its thing. So I hope you had fun going over these old tapes with me. I made sure I got a video in this week. I still got to do a big old honeydew list, but I'll try to have one out next week for sure. So until then, it ain't just about the music.